will say, hey, that was fine, but I would have sacrificed all that stuff if we could have won the game. Well, back in 1969, remember? Pitcher Steve Carlton, then of the St. Louis Cardinals, struck out 19 New York Mets. Oh, yes, by the way, the Cardinals lost the game to the Mets 4-3. Today, Atlanta's Bob Horner did what only 10 other men in Major League history have done. He hit 4 home runs in a game, and you guessed it, his team, the Atlanta Braves, lost. Let's get to the highlights now from the launching pad, and here's the first missile off Andy McGaffigan, home run number 14 of the year, RBI number 50 for Mr. Horner. He's in a groove. He's one of the best. Pick it up in the 4th, tied at 1. Tim Wallach on first for Montreal. Mike Fitzgerald. The Expos did a little hitting today, too. The Fitzgerald will double off Zane Smith. There it goes to the left center field power alley. Now Wallach rounds third. Wallach rounds third. Wallach scores. And there's a leisurely trot around the bases, 2-1. Next batter up, Al, what me worry, Newman. Sorry, Chris. And he drives it deep to left. Had to. It just came out. Ken Griffey runs out of room. 2-run shot, and it's 4-1 Montreal. Now, bottom of the 4th, Braves pulled to within 2, and here's the man of the hour, the guest of honor. He takes McGaffigan deep to left center. Andy doesn't even turn around on this one, and neither do the outfielders chase it. Number 15, it's 4-2 Montreal. Top of the 5th, Andre Dawson gets in the home run parade. George Wright is on second, and he can walk home as Dawson hits this one out of the park. Now you know why they call Atlanta the launching pad. Bottom of the 5th, Expos lead at 10-4, but the Braves have 2 men on, and Horner at bat, score 3 runs. It's now 10-7. Horner's 16th of the year, 3rd of the day. In the bottom of the ninth, 11-7 Expos. Game is over with for the Braves, but everybody wondered, could Bob Horner get his 4th homer to go in the record books? If you've ever been at the park when this happened, you know the anticipation, and there it goes. Back. Jeff Reardon delivers the Horner fastball that he takes out of the park, so Horner becoming the 11th player in baseball history to get 4 in one game. Add to that 6 RBIs. Horner was a happy man, but...
Well, you don't ever plan on anything like that happen in your career. It's one of those things that happens once in a lifetime. Never expect anything like that to happen, but it did, and I just wish we would have won the ball game.
All right, the final score of the game first. Montreal wins it 11-8. Anticlimactic, though, because of the heroics of Bob Horner. 4 home runs. Who are the other 10 guys to do it? You say, here they are. Bobby Lowe of the Boston Braves. Ed Delahanty of the Phillies. Lou Gehrig of the Yankees. Chuck Klein of the Phillies. Pat Surrey of Chicago. Gil Hodges of the Brooklyn Dodgers, Joe Adcock of Milwaukee, Rocky Calavito of Cleveland, Willie Mays of San Francisco, Mike Schmidt of the Phillies, and Bob Horner of the Braves.
Candlestick was definitely the place to be in the Bay Area today for several reasons. One was curiosity. Could Lefty still deliver on the mound? The fans were ready, 40,000 plus, the standing ovation of the newest Giant, Steve Carlton, pitching against the team he broke in with in the major leagues, the St. Louis Cardinals. But in the 3rd inning, Lefty did not look like, well, Lefty. He hangs a curveball that Tito Landrum singles to left field. Me and Willie McGee scores his 1-0 Cards. Next man up is Mike Heathbar. And Heath, the catcher, will double up to the right center field gap. Allen nicely scores, but Chili Davis will relay to Robbie Thompson. Watch Thompson throw to the plate. Slide, Tito. He's out. Landrum should have hit the deck, but he didn't, and he's out. 2-0 Cards. 4th inning, Carlton gives up another run. Base hit to Vince Coleman. Ozzie Smith scores. Carlton departs after 3 1/3. The Cards lead at 3-0. But here come the Giants in the 7th. Off Danny Cox. With the bases loaded, pinch hitter Candy Maldonado, way over 400 as a pinch hitter this year. Scores Chili Davis and Harry Spillman with that base hit. Bottom of the 8th inning. The Giants in business again with the runner on first base. Robbie Thompson squares to bunt. Danny Cox fields it okay. Throws it into Monterey. Randy Kutcher around second. He's going to third base. He'll score on a sac fly. We're tied at 3. Still in the 8th, bring on Ken Fixer Repair Daly. Bring on pinch hitter Jeff Leonard. Bring on a Giants 4-3 lead. Has Thompson scores the go-ahead run. Now, Giants up, Cards down this year, right? Want to see it exhibited on the field? Simple sac fly by Luis Quinones. Simple catch. Very good throw by Andy Van Slyke. Very bad tag by Mike Heath, who drops the ball. 1-run scores. Chris Brown is safe. Hey, where's the ball? Oh, Jeff Leonard is safe. Oh, there's a guy going to third. No, he'll score because the ball flies by. Sac fly, 3 runs scored. How do you score it? Well, you scored a 6-run 8th, and the Giants beat the Cardinals by the score of 8-3. And the Cards have dropped 9 of their last 10. Lefty went to 3 1/3, gave up 8 hits and 3 runs. But the Giants won the ball game. Garrelt's the winner out of the bullpen. And the Giants now lead the Astros by a 1.5 games out west. An even bigger reason to turn out at the stick today was because it was Willie McCovey Day, as the Giants, who've already retired his number 44, simply wanted to honor him again for his upcoming enshrinement in Cooperstown next month. Stretch rode into the park in style in a 55 caddy, a car that was brand new in his first year of pro ball in the Giants farm system. By the time he was done on the field, Willie Mack had hit 521 homers, tied for 9th all time. But in typical McCovey style, today he spent time lauding somebody else, Willie Mays.
I can stand here for 2 hours talking about Willie Mays and the things he meant to me. But all I'd like to say is, Mays, it was an honor just wearing the same uniform you wore and having my name alongside yours out there on that fence.
There are two guys right there, Mays and Willie McCovey, who were elected to the Hall of Fame of Cooperstown on the first ballot, as both they should have been.
You and I were very, very lucky to watch Willie Mays and Willie McCovey play in their prime. Of course, Mays, everybody knows about him. He's legendary. McCovey may be a stranger to some real young baseball fans. He was one of the most fearsome hitters around.
You know, you can quote stats, Tommy, with home runs and everything else, and, of course, what an influence he was in the clubhouse. But year after year, he led entire baseball in walks and intentional walks.
Yeah.
And if that doesn't tell you what sort of power hitter he was, I don't know what does. One of the greatest, Willie McCovey, and I must say, my all-time favorite.
I tell you, nobody messes with Big Stretch in baseball, either in the game or now that he's going into the Hall of Fame. In New York today, the Mets bounced back from a rare loss on Saturday. What's this, the Mets lose? They made the front page of the Times. They took care of business against the Astros, and they keep their 11.5 game lead in the East, while the Astros fell to a 1.5 games behind Berman's beloved Giants in the West. Let's go to highlights now from Shea. Bottom of the second, 1-0 Mets. Len Dykstra against Mark Knudsen. Dykstra lines the hit into center. Ed Hearn scores from second. You know, that kid Hearn plays very well when he gets a chance to play. 2-0 Mets. Bottom of the third, still 2-0. Met rookie Kevin Mitchell rips Knudsen deep down the line. Will it be fair? That's the only question. Yes. In fact, it bounces on the scoreboard. 3-0 Mets. Hal Lanier gives you the best disgusted manager's look in baseball. Coming up right about now. Hal, where are you? What do you think of that home run? Hal, isn't he disgusting looking there? Meanwhile, Mets starter Sid Fernandez sailed along. Here he ties up John Miserock, and then bottom of the seventh with the score 3-1. Howard Johnson of the Mets cranks one off Frank DePino in the bullpen. A 2-run shot. Long ball day. Fireworks at Shea. Why not? Miss Liberty's not far away. Hal, give us that disgusted look one more time, please. Hal, thank you very much. Top of the ninth, 5-2 Mets. Doug Siskine in relief. Jim Pankovich lines a hit to center. Denny Walling scores to cut the Met lead to 5-3. Still in the top of the ninth. 2 men on, 2 out. Houston's got a shot here, but Roger McDowell gets Alan Ashby to ground out to Wally Backman. Sorry. And the Mets win it by a score of 5-3, and they have that big lead still.
Well, I didn't think we'd have an 11.5 game lead. I was looking for Montreal and St. Louis and Chicago to be much more competitive to this point than they have been. Not that they won't be, because I think they have a lot of talented people. They just haven't really got their act together yet. But I never in my wildest dreams did I think with those teams who have that much talent that we'd be out this far out in front.
Well, I kind of like where we are right now. I'd feel comfortable anything over 10 games. I don't think that we're going to lose, but 15 games.
Today's series was for you. Today, another game, another nail-biter at Jack Murphy Stadium. Bottom of the first inning, we are scoreless. Scott Sanderson pitching for the Chicago Cubs. Marvell Wynn, not known for long ball, except today. He takes Sanderson, back. It is gas. Home run, number 4 for Marvell. 1-0 Pods. Bottom of the fourth, we're still 1-0. Kevin McReynolds is on first. Steve Garvey goes to the right side with a base hit. McReynolds moves over to third base. He would later score in a sac fly by Templeton. 2-0 San Diego. Top of the sixth, 2-0 Pods. Cubs with runners at first and second. John Dunston with the little bloop shot off Andy Hawkins. Frank Kona scores 2-1 Pods. Top of the seventh, Hawkins gets a little help from his friends. Ryan Sandberg with a grounder up the middle, but watch Templeton. Range to his left, spins, fires, gets Sandberg at first base. Top of the ninth, how do you spell relief? Goose. 1, that's Jerry Mumphrey. 2, that's Thad Bosley. And the Sarge is up. 3, get out of here. 3 Ks in the ninth. Goose would save number 15 as the Padres beat the Chicago Cubs today by a score of 2-1. Hawkins now 6-5. Sanderson loses. He is 3-6. At Philadelphia, kind of an unusual happening. Jeff romancing the stone as a pinch hitter came up in the third inning and doubled. And since his team was still batting, he came up again as a pinch hitter in the same inning and hit a homer. All told, 7 extra base hits for the Phils, and the third ties a major league record. 8-run third. They bombed the shreds by a score of 12-5. To Colby, the winner. Joe, actual retail price was the loser for the Reds. And hey, the Dodgers won. They beat Pittsburgh by a score of 4-3 as rookie Jeff Hamilton had the game winner as single in the 6th inning. Honeycutt starter and winner. Jim, I'm not the toy cannon win was the loser. Not all the news was good for the Dodgers, though. Franklin Ticket Stubbs was hurt. He strained a right hamstring as the Dodgers languish in last place.
Wait till Pete Rose gets a hold of you. You're going to speak to him. But they're only 2 games below 500, and in any given series, they can give you plenty of headaches. The Texas Rangers suffered a migraine today as they saw their AL West lead slip to a half game because they lost to Detroit. Bobby Valentine, he's pulled the right strings to have his Rangers on a 4-game winning streak coming in. Bottom of the 3rd, here goes Texas. Scott Fletcher off Frank Tanana. Back it goes over the left field fence. And about 6 rows up into the crowd. Give that guy a cigar. He made the catch that notched the score. The Tigers loaded the bases then with 1 out in the top of the 4th. Dave Bergman singles to left in front of Gary Ward to drive in Darrell Evans from 3rd, and Detroit leads it by a score of 2-1. Getting ahead of myself. Then Pat Sheridan, the next batter. Bobby Witt uncorks a wild pitch. Don Schlott-Schmidt, it goes, bounces up. That's Witt's 14th wild pitch of the year. 3-1 Tigers as Bobby Valentine wonders how to get that kid to get his control in order. 1 out later with Dwight Lowry up. Witt bobbles the ball. They're going to the windup. Balk. Johnny Grubb comes home. Take your base, says the umpire. Bottom of the 7th, Texas has the bases loaded. Take your base, please. Take it. Will you take it? All right, now let's move on. Bottom of the 7th, Texas has the base. These guys are slow. Frank Tanana gets Ruben Sierra on a check swing tapper that goes up 1 to 2 to 3 if you're scoring at home. And he works out of the jam, and the Tigers go on to win it by a score of 5-2, snapping that Ranger 4-game winning streak. And I mentioned Bobby Witt, the rookie, 14th wild pitch of the year. Oh, by the way, he also had 14 strikeouts, but the Rangers lost the game. Okay, Toronto and California. The California Angels win it by a score of 8-2 to pull within a half game of Texas in the AL West. Kirk McCaskill has now won 7 of his last